Hello once again, I'm Mike Stolberger, Director of Elections for Blue Earth County. I'm very happy to share with you that you are nearly done with all of the videos for the Rules and Processes portion of your election judge training. You have just a couple more videos that will be provided by me that are very specific to the election judge role in Blue Earth County. And at that point, you'll be ready to move on to the equipment portion of our training, and you'll be able to see the equipment you'll be using on election day. So let's dive into this next topic, and it is on curbside voting. In order to help you understand curbside voting better, we're going to remind you of what voter assistance can be provided in the polling place. Then we'll get into the details of curbside voting, and we'll speak specifically to how curbside voting will look on election day. And of course, we'll end with some additional resources in case you want to learn more about the process. We talked about this earlier, but remember, voter assistance is the opportunity for every voter to participate equally in the election on election day at whatever level they choose to do so. We aren't going to assume that they want more assistance than they ask for, and we're also not going to judge or challenge a voter's eligibility based on any perceived cognitive capabilities or physical disabilities. We're only going to provide as much assistance as requested, and we're never going to influence how a voter or person intends to vote. If you are helping a voter mark a ballot or complete any other work related to voting, remember that 2 election judges of different major parties are required. 1 election judge and a county staff member working in the polling place as an elections official can also complete those voter tasks. Let's get a little bit more specific with curbside voting, which is a version of voter assistance on election day. We expect an uptick in utilization of curbside voting as a result of COVID-19, so we want to make sure that you're familiar with the process. Curbside voting is the process of voting from a vehicle when a voter is unable to enter the polling place. The voter will request a ballot be brought to the vehicle, and this request is usually made by phone or by a voter flagging down an election judge to go and help somebody who's out at a car waiting for curbside assistance. Remember, only election judges and elections officials in the polling place can complete this process. We cannot have other voter assisters, such as other voters who live in that precinct, completing this process. Only election judges and election staff, and remember, the major party balance needs to be achieved between the election judges helping with this role. Here's the basics of the process. 2 voters will go to the curbside voter. They'll identify the voter and check in or register the voter depending on if that voter is pre-registered. They'll provide a ballot to the voter in the vehicle. The voter votes from his or her vehicle, and then the ballot is tabulated in the polling place, just like every other ballot on election day. This is the basic process, and I need to make sure you're aware of the fact that this process may change as a result of COVID-19 and any impact we have on election day polling place operations. Because of that, we're making you aware of the process, but we want you to follow the instructions provided in the election day supply kit and/or specific directions from your head judge. If we get a little bit more specific of the process, we have 2 ways that curbside voting may be conducted on election day. The first one is the paper process, which is traditional and utilizes a certificate of registered voter. This process requires the election judges to bring the form to the vehicle. The judges then bring that form back into the polling place where they'll use a poll pad to check in the voter, and when the receipt prints out, they'll write curbside on it as the voter's signature. The election judges then exchange the second receipt to print out, the ballot receipt, and they'll get a ballot for that receipt. The judges then bring the ballot back out to the voter so that that person can vote from their car, and then the judges bring that ballot back in and it is tabulated. That requires 4 trips of our election judges, and so we are also proposing an optional route which brings the poll pad to the voter at the car. This reduces the number of trips, and the voter experience is very similar in that they're still completing their ballot at their car. The election judges will use the poll pad to check in or register the voter at the vehicle. They'll already have brought a ballot with them because they know which precinct they're working in. And then they're going to bring that voted ballot back into the polling place with the poll pad, and once that poll pad is in range of the printer, a receipt will print out where the election judges will write curbside as the signature. The second receipt that comes out, the ballot receipt, will be given to the ballot judge, And then at that time, the election judges can deposit that voted ballot into the tabulator. We are also considering some wild ideas for November use, depending on the circumstances related to COVID-19 at that time. That may involve deploying an additional omni ballot and allowing that additional omni ballot to be used at the curbside to help a voter vote. Stay tuned for more information on that. Here are the traditional resources available to you as election judges. Don't forget to use your election judge guide from the Secretary of State's website, your head judge or other experienced judges, and remember, we'll be providing information on Election Day in the supply kit in terms of which curbside voting experience to use. And of course, if you ever have any additional questions, feel free to contact our office. We're always here to answer those questions. And I want to wish you luck on the last few modules here in this series. As you complete those videos, we hope you'll have a nice, thorough understanding of election judge responsibilities in the polling place. Thank you.